My name is Jonas Niyogakiza, and I'm a senior manager at Spokes of OP Worldwide. Welcome to this presentation. This presentation is going to cover the managerial functions, including planning, organizing, staffing, reading, and controlling. In this video also, I will describe the managerial styles, including directing, delegating, and even discussing. Let me begin with the managerial function, and I want to start with planning. Planning is like a function or the management function by which the manager identifies the plans and the goals and even objectives of the company. This means that as you know, as the company is operating, the manager, of course, has like to make a plan or like to decide the plans that will be followed or that the company want to reach. Not also to plan, to identify those goals and even objectives, but also the manager makes like the strategic plans or to make another of strategies that how those goals will be achieved. For example, I want to give you an example like of a plan. If like I am a manager at my company and I say that my company will increase sales at a rate of 90% at the next year. This is an example of planning. The second managerial function is about organizing. This is related about like maintaining the relationship between the employees and even like to identify how the resources within the business must be followed. For example, when there is a conflict between the employees, so the manager like has to be the first one to engage in those like conflict and even search how to solve that problem. The third one is called the staffing. Staffing like is a process, and this process is usually about the recruitment or the hiring process. This is where the managers like involve in hiring different workers or employees within the business. For example, the manager may plan like a set of questions that will be asked to the employees when they will be like applying for the job. So that is like an example of staffing, where the manager like has to be able like to recruit and even intervene in interviews and other processes about hiring the workers within the business. The fourth one is about reading, and this is the determination of tasks and even assigning those tasks to different workers. This means that when you are a manager in a company, means that you are in charge of all activities within the business. So among your responsibilities, you just have to determine different tasks within the business. For example, a business might be, for example, a school, and you need to determine the cleaners, determine the teachers, you determine the other staff members, and you just have to determine those staff members according to their skills and even their past experience. So this is an example for reading. So the fifth managerial function that I want to explain is about controlling. So controlling like carrying out the result and even to intervene in the process of seeing how the plans which are not like reached, how they should be reached. So I just want to give you an example. If I am a manager at my company and I see and I decide that my company at the next year will increase the sales at the level of 50%, and then at the end of the year I just have like to carry out the result or to see what have been done within the business. So this is what you call a controlling, and see if there is like some plans which did not like achieved, so to see how this would be achieved during the future. Let me take like a step to put you the second the second point, which is the description of managerial styles. And I want to start first on the managerial style, which is directing. This is the managerial style where the manager give different tasks to the employees and give the instructions to follow. Means that uh, as I am a manager and I have like different tasks to be completed by uh, different workers, I just have to set the set of instructions and give those instructions to the workers. So it is the responsibility of the employees like to go through the instructions and understand all of them. If there is like any question or a set of instruction that is not understandable, uh, the employee is responsible to ask the manager about that instruction. And then after, the manager meets with the employee to see whether the assigned the task is accomplished. I just want to put to give you like some disadvantages and even advantages of this type of managerial. Uh, First of all, as a strength, this type of management does not require like much time. So because there is no long discussions between the employees and even their managers, and also this kind of managing encourage hard work. Means that if you give a set of instructions to the worker and he is already responsible to understand those instructions and even to put into practice. So it is the responsibility of those workers to be all like to address those instructions and even to put into practice. Means that there is no need of uh, intervening, or the manager does not to intervene more or making a long discussion with the employees. As like disadvantages for this type of management, uh, when there is unclear instructions, so there must be like not fulfilling or fair to fulfill the task that the manager give to the employees. Another disadvantages is that it's possible that there should be conflict when uh, the set of instructions is not well given and when the employees are not able to achieve what they have said. The second type of management that I want to put you in a mood of understanding, it's about delegation. And delegation, uh, it's about like directing like people or different people like their tasks, meaning that individual task or like group tasks, means that the manager has to like to identify different tasks that should be achieved within the business and assign each individual his or her task, or he may even choose or she may even to choose to assign different tasks in groups. And then after like delegating those tasks to those employees, then after each employee will intervene, and then after the manager will come to see the result. As the advantages for this type of management, uh, there is a confidence and even high hard work for the employers. It means that as like this type of management like in consists of like empowering people. When those people, the people who are able to achieve those goals, so they are empowered. Maybe uh, the manager may give like some incentives to the people, or the awards to the people who have completed their task on time, and this can improve or can create a confidence within those employees to progress or to achieve to the to the successful of their goals. Uh, as a disadvantages is that people who are disempowered or who are not able to achieve their goals, so might seem like nervous or not happy, because they can see that this is like type of like a disparity or discrimination within the business. The last thing that I want to discuss with you is about like discussing this is type of management, which involves the conversation between the managers and the employees themselves. So the manager have to set the goals and even the objectives and start together with the employees and give them those instructions together. And the employees are allowed like to ask different questions uh, where they do not understand. So as advantage for this type of management is that there is a creation of like relationship between the employees and their managers because they make like face-to-face discussions. So uh, as disadvantages mm, is that there is like the use of uh, time. This is a time consuming because when the managers decide to sit together with the employees and discuss different things, so there is like a waste of I don't say that it's a waste of time, but there is a wrong time, so they use a high time. So that is a type of disadvantages. So before before leaving, I just want to like to summarize what I have said. I have said about the two many things, which is the managerial types um, or the managerial function, which are like planning, organizing, staffing, reading, and constructing. And this video also I have said about the managerial styles, including directing, delegating, and even discussing. Thank you for coming.